Hey guys, and welcome back. So for today's video I decided to do kind of like a holiday glam tutorial, just so you can kind of see what kind of makeup I would personally wear, whether it be for New Year's or some sort of a Christmas holiday party. So if you guys are interested in seeing what kind of look I achieved, even though you can kind of see it in the thumbnail, which you've clicked on, but if you'd like to see it in action and see how I come up with that look, just keep on watching. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime, and if you watch my previous videos you can kind of tell that I'm not usually like a heavy primer kind of person, so I don't normally apply primer for my everyday today makeup look whatsoever. So, but I will wear it if I'm going out and I need my makeup to kind of stay on like relatively long, or if my makeup is going to be more on the heavier side. So for the primer today, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. And I do really like this primer because the texture is so soft and silky, and I find it just kind of spreads really nicely over my face. So you don't need a lot, you only literally need like less than a pea size amount. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to just put it kind of on the center areas of my face. So I just like to kind of focus it here and a little bit up on my forehead. And I don't really put it on my nose because my nose is like my worst problem area for like makeup to kind of like slip off. And I feel like if I put like a slippery thing on it, such as primer, it's just going to kind of make everything worse. As weird as that sounds, it's just kind of like the logic that I feel like I have. Okay, so once primer is done, I'm going to go in with some foundation, and I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fitme Matte and Poreless Foundation, and it looks just like this. And I will be using the shade 102 Fair Porcelain. I'm going to use a different brush than what I've been using literally for every other makeup video. I am going to be using a Morphe G6 brush instead of the gold handle one that I've been using. So this one's a little smaller, it's a little more dense, but I really find that you have more control putting on your foundation, and you can really get it into your skin and your pores with this brush really easily. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to start kind of evenly putting it all over my face. I probably used a little too much. I'm just going to go in and just kind of pat into my skin whatever foundation that I've just kind of put all over my face with my brush. So moving on to concealer, I am going to be using the M.A.C Studio Fix 24-Hour Smooth Wear Concealer, and this is in the shade NW22. I'm just going to be applying this wherever I normally put my concealer, which is kind of under my eyes, on my eyelids. I like to put some down my nose, and of course on that massive pimple right there. A little bit on my forehead, a little bit here, and I like to put some on my chin. And also lately I have been liking to bring my concealer down like this, like kind of in the crease of my nose. I just find it kind of helps to brighten it up just a little bit more. I'm going to be taking that same sponge and just kind of blending everything in. Okay, so once concealer is all kind of blended in, I do like to go in with some loose setting powder. So on a day-to-day basis, I do like to use this one, as you guys probably know if you have seen my other videos. But if I want to do something more heavier and more glam and something that's going to stay on literally all night, I do really like to go in with my RCMA powder. And I did have to buy this online because it's only from the States, I believe. So, but I believe like this one was like $15 or something, and literally like I've only used that much. Like I've been using this for a long time now, so it does really last. And I know it looks really white, but trust me, when you wipe off that bake, the white is just completely gone, and it leaves no flashback either. So how I like to use this, it's pretty messy. I do like to kind of empty some out into the cap, and I do like to go in again with that more harder blending sponge, and I just tap it in there And I literally just place it under my eyes very heavily. And it is pretty messy, so be aware of that. So yeah, I just kind of place it where I normally always place it, and like on my chin. So this is how it looks. I know it looks pretty crazy right now, and it looks really white, but trust me, this is gonna give you like the most matte, flawless finish. And I always get asked, you know, like, how do you make your face look so matte and so airbrush looking? This probably counts for about 90% of it. So if you are looking for that kind of finish, definitely invest in this guy right here. So while that's doing its thing, I will be going in and doing brows. So I will be using just my normal Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Taupe. So this is what it looks like there. It's like the perfect shade for me. And I will be going in with the brush I always use, and this is the Liner Brow Brush by Quo. And I'm just gonna line my brows. The brows are definitely not perfect today, but they will have to do. So now I'm going to just go in and wipe all the bake off, and this is using the usual Morphe R3 brush, I believe, because it's completely like wiped off the side. So I'm literally just going in and wiping away that powder. So now I'm going to go in with some bronzer, and I'm going to be using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in medium deep. So that looks like this. I just find this is one of like the best colors for my skin tone for bronzer. I'm going to be going in with the Sigma Small Contour F05 brush and just kind of putting bronzer where I normally put it. Okay, so now bronzer is done. I'm going to be going in with some blush. I am going to be going in with M.A.C blush called Dame. So it looks like this. So it's like a really nice rosy pink shade, and I really like this for fair skin tones. So I'm going to be going in with the Sigma Powder Blush Brush in F10. I'm just going to swirl into that one and just apply it on my cheeks. That's it for blush. So now it's time for the fun part, which is the eyes. I'm going to be using mostly M.A.C products, and it's mostly eyeshadows from my M.A.C magnetic pan. Okay, so for the first color, I'm going to be going in with soft brown, and I'm going to be using the Morphe E23 brush. I'm just going to swirl into that and just apply some into my crease. I am going to be going in with brown script, so it looks like this, and I'm going to be using the same brush and just kind of doing the exact same thing that I did with the lighter brown, just to kind of deepen up the crease just a little bit more. Okay, so to deepen it up even more, we're going to go in with Swiss Chocolate. So this is just to kind of give it that final little dimension in the crease. Once that is in there, I'm going to be going into the shade I'm Into It, and it's like this like deep reddy burgundy shade, and I'm going to be using a different brush. So this is the Morphe E17 brush, and it's just kind of more tapered on the end, and I'm just going to dip into that and kind of put it, I'm going to start by putting it in the outer corners of my eyes into the crease. Okay, so with the same brush, once you have it on the outside, I'm actually going to take it and I'm going to put a little bit on the inside, and I'm just going to kind of tap it in, because I don't want it to go too far like into the corner of my eye, but I am just gonna tap it in there just a little bit. Same with this one. So you can probably tell by now that I will be doing kind of what's called like a spotlight effect on my eyes. And I'm not very familiar with doing this kind of technique for eyeshadow, but I figured I just wanted to kind of do something different and something a little bit more dramatic, so here we are. So I'm going to be taking this smaller Sigma Blending E36 brush, and it's pretty tiny. So I'm going to be going with the same shade, and I'm just going to kind of bring this shade, kind of bridge the two like this. So I'm just going to keep going back and forth. And I mean, some other people might have totally different ways to kind of do a spotlight effect, but for me, starting out, I find that bridging it kind of like this and doing the steps that I have did is just a little bit easier, possibly for beginners. We can touch up later. Nothing has to be completely perfect right now. Okay, so let's just put down that shade for a minute. And now comes kind of, well, what was the hardest part for me, and that is to kind of conceal the inner portion of this. So you don't really have to use concealer, but if you don't use concealer, you're gonna kind of risk your shadow that you're putting on this part not really coming through as much. So I find if you do put a base down, obviously it is going to show up the color more easily. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to be using the same concealer that I've been using, the MAC one. And the brush that I'm going to be using is the e.l.f. concealer brush. So it's just a little tiny brush. And I'm just going to be taking a little bit of concealer. And I'm literally just going to pat it in the center of my eye. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So I kind of just like to do this and open my eye just to kind of see where I should end and not go further than that. When it's in there, I just kind of like to go in and pat it out a little bit. And then you can go back in with a brush with that color and just kind of fix up where we had it applied. So once you have it laid out like this, I know it looks kind of funny, but it will come together in the end, I promise. So this time I'm going to be using the shade Amber Lights, and again, this is by MAC. So I find it easier just to kind of apply it with my finger at first. So I'm just going to swirl my finger in and get a nice little bit on there and just kind of go in and start tapping. And as you can see, it's pretty pigmented. So again, on this eye, just kind of go in and tap. You can see what kind of an effect that has, and it's super pretty. Like, I find this color, Amber Lights, is like one of the perfect shades to be doing this with because it's so nice when paired with like a warmer shade. I'm just gonna go again with soft brown. And I'm going to take the brush that we just had with I'm Into It, and whatever's left on the brush, I'm just going to kind of combine it with the soft brown to just kind of do the underside of my eyes. Just to kind of smoke them out a little bit more. I'm going to be taking Swiss Chocolate again. Now I'm going to be going in with I'm Into It, which was that main color, and just going over the brown shades with that. So now I'm going to be going in with the shade Goldbit by MAC, and I'm just going to tap a little bit, and I'm just going to go in, and it kind of brightens up this amber color a little bit. I'm going to go in with a darker shade called Embark, and I'm going to go in with that same brush I've been using for I'm Into It and just kind of giving it a darker smoked out effect right here on my eyes. So now I'm going to be going in with a little bit of liner, and what I'm going to be using is this black shade from my Jaclyn Hill palette. Going in with this Sigma small angled E65 brush. This is what I always use. I'm going to go in with that black shade and just kind of line my eyes with this. Okay, so I lined pretty much the top. Now I'm just going to go in and line a little bit of the bottom. So now I'm just going to kind of mix both of these like more whiter shades up at the top, and I'm going to make that my inner corner highlight and under my brow bone. And for this I'm going to be using a Morphe Y22 brush. So I'm just going to mix those and pop this just on the inner corner. And I'm gonna do my brow bone. So I have picked up these M.A.C little mini glitters for part of their holiday collection. So this is the M.A.C Shiny Pretty Things Party Favors Mini Glitter and Pigments in the gold tone shades. So they're so cute. I think I got this for like $34.50, but I believe they are kind of all on sale now, or they were on the M.A.C website and in stores, so you guys can kind of check that out if you want to kind of have this sort of thing. So for me, the little ones were kind of more ideal because I'm never going to go through the bigger little bottles of glitter that they have, so these kind of shades are just perfect. For today's look, I think I'm going to be using the shade, the gold one, which is literally just called Gold. I've never used any loose glitter pigments before, and I actually do not own a glitter glue because I usually don't use glitter for anything. So I was kind of thinking of what I can use to kind of press this glitter down, and I think I might just spray my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus. That way it kind of just gives it like a sticky gradient to kind of stick on. Spray my brush. And I'm just going to dip into the glitter and see if that will stick. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out. It may turn out really bad, or it may turn out really good. So that is actually really pretty. I am really liking that at the moment. So we're just going to go ahead and put some on this side. So if you wanted to do like the version of this look before I started applying the glitter to the center of my eyelids, you totally could. You could just kind of stay with the color shadow. That still looks really pretty, but I find for like New Year's or something, this like this looks really nice. I think I might add a tiny little bit of glitter to the inner corner of my eyes, but I'm not going to be using the loose glitter. I am going to be going in with some Urban Decay heavy metal glitter, and this is in the shade Midnight Cowboy. So this just kind of has like a nice little tiny tip pen applicator. So I'm just going to go in and just kind of give it a little tiny bit. I mean, we came this far, so might as well keep going. I have glitter everywhere, like it's all down my nose. So now I'm going to go in and do highlighter. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in Molten Rose Gold. I think today I'm going to mix a couple of highlighters, so bear with me. I'm going to go in with my normal Sigma High Cheekbone Highlighter brush, F03, and I'm just going to swirl into that. Just apply some where I normally put highlighter. And I just realized that we didn't do mascara yet, so gotta do that. I'm gonna mix a little bit of the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder in the shade Blossom Glow. I'm just gonna kind of put a little bit of that on top of the highlighter that we just put on. It just kind of gives it a little more brightness. We didn't do mascara yet, so I'm just gonna open my favorite mascara. This is the Colossal Big Shot, as you guys know. So I'm just gonna go in and apply it just like how I normally always do. Just a couple of coats. I'm not going to go too heavy on the mascara because I do want to kind of try fake eyelashes with this look. I mean, like, seriously, we went this far, so we might as well just end it with a bang. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy. I'm just going to throw on a pair of Ardell lashes twin pack, and they are 120s in the demi style. So I have no idea. I'm not really a fake lash wearer, but I do put them on like literally maybe like 3 times a year. So this will be one of those times. So obviously I'm going to do this off camera because this may take an extremely long time. So I will be back. Okay guys, so seriously, that took me no time at all. Before I forget my lips, I'm just going to go ahead and pick a color to apply to my lips. I think I might try out a nude color first, and then if I don't like it, I think I may add some pink to it. I think I'm going to be trying out a Maybelline lipstick, so I'm going to be trying out Peach Buff. It's a matte lipstick in the number 540. So I think I might want to add in a tiny bit more color. So I think I might add in the ColourPop and Delilah Ultra Glossy Lip, and this one is in the shade JJ. So this is the kind of color here. I think it just might add a little bit more color and a little bit more shine, which could be nice. So it didn't really add much color, but it did add some shine. Okay guys, so this is the finished holiday look. So I feel like this would be a super appropriate, really glam look if you were kind of going out for New Year's, or if you had like this super big party to go to, or something where you can wear a little bit of glitter and sparkle. So I do like kind of like the nude lip that I kind of combined with this look, because I feel like if I went with a dark lip it would be just a little bit too much, but I mean, if you feel like it would look right, go ahead and combine the two. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments for me, just leave them down below in the comments, and I will be putting a list of everything that I've used in the description box of this video. And of course, if you want to see more by me, just hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And I guess I will be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye!